If you're in Zimbabwe and need cash,
Rand US.
Vincent's your guy.
Rand US.
2 years ago, he graduated with a degree in accounting.
Rand US.
But he didn't land a job, so he's on the street, exchanging US dollars and South African rand for Zimbabwe's failing currency.
It went for US. Maitabas. All right. The black market is the only market which is now functional in our country. Rand US.
The country's so short on cash, people line up at ATMs for hours just to get $20. There are virtually no jobs. So Vincent's generation, college-educated and ambitious, is stuck, hawking shoes, phone chargers, bras. Many give up and leave.
People, they are no longer doing things that they are capable of doing, but they are now doing things so that they will be able to survive. Rand US.
Right now, any money he makes goes to a broker who's promised to get him work papers in South Africa.
Rand US.
Vincent's trying to get out, too.
Rand US.
We came to Zimbabwe to witness its first election since Robert Mugabe was forced out. For almost 40 years, Mugabe's oppressive rule isolated the country and crippled its economy. The military-backed government that overthrew him promised change. They even called an election and let in journalists.
The people of Zimbabwe have spoken.
We saw genuine excitement on the street. Followed by violence. 6 people were killed, and the same ruling party was declared the winner. So is this true change? Sure, Mugabe is gone, but everywhere we look, corruption, violence, and fear still run deep. Like here. In 2005, the ruling party forced nearly 700,000 people into squatter camps. The goal, to create a voting bloc dependent on the state and break up opposition strongholds. The result, a broken community. We meet Colin. He was brought here after the government burned his home. He's lived here for 15 years, and the place still lacks basic infrastructure.
There's no sewer in here. There's no water. The way I'm living is beyond human explanation. I'm not living like a human being.
But his vocal criticism has made him a target for intimidation, so he's moved his family into hiding.
They'll kill me. They did it right from the beginning. They burned my house, see everything.
Desperate, many women here turn to prostitution.
Because
of the cash shortage, Tracy's clients send payments to her phone, if they pay at all. Outside of the capital, we see the roots of despair in these neglected fields. Agriculture is critical to Zimbabwe's economy. This is Steve Crano.
Look at my house.
18 years ago, he lived here.
It's trashed. Swimming pool. There, we would barbecue over the weekend. The dining room was here, lounge over there. And we were sitting here, having lunch, when David said he had a problem. And then from there, it just went downhill.
In 2000, Steve and 3 friends were kidnapped, beaten, and left for dead. One friend was killed.
You all right?
Yeah. I think it looks worse than it is.
It looks pretty bad.
Okay. Yeah.
It was part of Robert Mugabe's plan to right the wrongs of colonialism by seizing land owned by white farmers and giving it to black Zimbabweans, by force if necessary. Steve was driven off his farm and never compensated.
My daughter's rooms.
But the property didn't go to local black farmers. It went to a military family loyal to the party.
My son's room. My room.
With no farming experience, the land went to waste and the house burned in a brush fire. It was a common story, seizing the land and handing it out to a ruling elite that led the country to total ruin.
To me, it's just a waste, and I don't like waste.
And the same elite still governs. But then there's Richard Mavunga. He's a veteran. 15 years ago, he was granted this land, formerly owned by a white cattle rancher.
These are the pumpkins which we do here.
He learned how to farm and transformed the property.
I've invested quite a lot of money in putting up a proper infrastructure which is ideal for agricultural purposes. It's completely different now.
But his investment isn't guaranteed. The state owns all of the redistributed lands. Richard can't use his property as collateral for loans. It's hard to acquire new plots for expansion, and the risk remains that the government could seize it from him at any time.
Zimbabwe is an agro-based economy. We need to do very well, but we also need to be supported.
The night the election results are announced, the city is on lockdown. We see only riot police and soldiers. The opposition challenges the results.
Persecution, intimidation.
Journalists are corralled by police. Reports emerge of beatings and arrests. It's a far cry from the peace and prosperity that were promised.